Peace, love, and light to you all. You already know who it is. It's your girl, NeytiriJenae. Back at it with another video. Come on into the room, family. Come on in. Come on in. I just want to tell you guys about a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful moment that just happened to me in the forest. Get the light right here. Get the light going. There we go. Hey, peace, everybody. Come on in. So before I start, I'm going to say I just got my new comedic knowledge gear. Peace, Lynette. Oh my God, look at my gear, y'all. I feel official, y'all. I'm going to be doing yoga in this, y'all. The comedic knowledge, y'all. I love their gear. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. I feel so official. I just stepped into my goddessry, you know what I'm saying? My goddesshood, you know what I'm saying? Alright, y'all. So, you can find them at Comedic Knowledge if you want the information for this. Comedic Knowledge, this is what the tag looks like. And the information is on the back right here. It's KT Knowledge on Facebook, KT Knowledge on Twitter, Comedic Knowledge TV on YouTube, and Comedic Knowledge on Instagram. All right? Putting that out there. All right, so, oh my gosh. I had a magical moment out in nature today. So, I get this spirit, spirit tells me, go outside and meditate. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that. So, I got my ass up. And it was drizzling a bit, but whatever. Got put on my hoodie, and I decided to take a jog in the opposite direction that I usually go this time. And I literally was just following source, following my spirit, and following my visions where I feel like I need to go. So that's wonderful. Like, I'm going to tell you guys later how, that's a wonderful thing to navigate yourself. Know how to navigate yourself. So literally I'm going, and I'm jogging, and then I see this forest behind a house that I'd never been before. I'd never been to this forest before. And I just felt, I wanted to go explore it. Let's go and see, you know what I'm saying? I never been there before, and I'm just pushing my limits. I'm pushing where I can go. Like, literally, I'm saying to myself, I can do this, whatever. So I go to that forest, and then I got a feeling that, should I sit here and meditate? And someone was telling me, no, don't sit here and meditate. But I still was like, let me go try, let me see. And then out of nowhere, a prickle bush, like a rose thorn, caught my foot. And I'm just like, hi, how you doing? I didn't say hi to the forest yet. Hey, forest. And then I tried to take the prickle book off my pants, and I got stung. Got a splinter by the rose. I was like, that's my sign not to be in this forest. So I took my ass out that forest, and I started jogging to my usual forest. You know what I'm saying? I'm jogging, and I'm going up the hill and everything like that. I go to my forest, you know what I'm saying? And I'm getting divine ideas and everything like that. So literally, I went to my forest and touched a tree. As I usually do, I say hi to the forest and I touch the tree. But something happened this time. Usually I don't do. I sat there and I touched a tree stump that was looking pretty scary to me because it was cut down. But I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm going to touch it and just show it some love. Sat my ass down and tried to meditate. So droplets were being, like, huge droplets. I'm talking about huge droplets were being on me, like literally boop, 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 boop. I'm like, what is this? Like, what is the message? Like, literally, I'm feeling like, okay, this is my higher self talking to me, and the forest talking to me. All right, forest, what's up? So I'm listening, right? And I hear go this way, and I'm like, okay, you want me to go this way, or I'll just sit here and meditate? And then I'll try to sit here and meditate again, and then a huge droplet hit me again. I'm like, okay, it's time for me to get up. So what happened is I'm going through the forest, and I'm being led to different trees, right? And I'm being led to these trees, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to touch this tree. I'm going to hug this tree. I feel the need to touch this tree. I feel the need to hug this tree. But there was this one tree that I always saw in my peripheral vision that looks kind of scary to me. So I was just like, but then I got a message to touch that tree. And I'm like, touch this tree. It's literally red. It looked like I got a vein in it. It got blood on it, like from it being cut down. And like I'm just like, I don't know if I should touch this tree stump. So I complimentate. What is that? I stay on that for like 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, so you really want me to touch this tree branch that looks scary to me? And I'm like, all right, and then they're like, yeah, you got to get over some fears. So I'm like, okay, there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be afraid of. So I'm going over the tree, and I touch the tree, and all of a sudden I feel the need to give it Reiki, right? So I started giving the tree Reiki, and I started giving the tree love, and all of a sudden I hear knocks. No, literally, no, let me go back, because when I was meditating, I started hearing knocks, like knock, 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 knock. I was like, what is that? Who is there? Like, it is as a woodpecker, but this is the forest talking to me, like knock, 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 knock. I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? Hey, Cara, peace, what do you want me to do? So that's when I got up and started going towards the tree and hugging them and touching them and giving them Reiki. And I saw that each and every tree I went to, I started going towards a new way, a new path that I didn't really knew. Like, I would go exploring in this forest, but I went towards a new path that looked kind of scarier to me. And I had to believe in myself and literally listen to the Holy Spirit, and literally, I'm being guided and have my angels around me, surrounding me, and just think about being protected and guided, because this was a really huge forest. So I was just like, okay, all right. So I'm listening to my higher self, and I'm communicating with my higher self and the forest at this time, like literally communicating with my highest self. And it's like saying, like, you need to learn how to guide yourself. You know how to learn how to navigate yourself. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, literally I'm being taught by the forest, taught by my higher self, how to navigate myself through a forest. You remind me of my mother. Aw, I give thanks. We're all reflections here. So I'm literally being guided to tree, and then I got guided to this big tree, right? This big tree. And I was afraid to touch this big tree because it was huge. It was intimidating. You know what I'm saying? So all I heard was to go up to the tree. Don't think about it too much. Go up to the tree and just touch it. And I'm like, okay. So I touched the tree, and I understand that my heart chakra is in the palm of my hands as well. So I'm like literally like touching the tree and doing my best to like engage with it and interact with it. And I say hi to the trees as I'm touching them. And all of a sudden I felt overwhelmed with emotions, because then I heard to hug the tree. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to hug this tree and have my heart chakra pressed against this tree. And then all of a sudden, when I hugged this tree that I was afraid to touch, I started crying out of nowhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was so afraid. I don't know what I was afraid about. I know I'm a crybaby, but literally I started crying when I started hugging the tree, because the tree started hugging me back. I started seeing that the energy of the tree, I started seeing like branches come over my back and hugging me back in a way, in my vision, And I'm just like, thank you so much. Like, I was so afraid. I don't know what I was afraid of. So I'm communicating and keeping contact with the forest as I'm guiding my way, navigating myself through the forest. I'm communicating with. I'm showing the forest love, showing the trees love and gratitude, and onto my journey. And thanking the trees for navigating me, and thanking my Most High for navigating me. So after I'm done boo-hooing on the tree, I'm being guided and navigated out towards other places, and I'm hugging and touching other trees I never even got in contact with before. And all of a sudden, so this is a key point, like literally communicating and keeping in contact with the trees. Be in contact with trees, like literally as you're communicating and guiding, like be in contact with nature, connect with nature. Speak to nature, as nature is a living organism and a person, because nature is a living organism. It has every tree has a spirit, have a life, has a name. Every creature, plant, and everything has a life, has its own name, has its own spirit. You know what I'm saying? As above, so below. So they have their own star in the sky. So you know what I'm saying? 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 So like, what happened was, as I'm guiding myself out into the forest, I'm communicating with these new trees, these new formed trees. I had this urge to keep going, because I thought I had a thought after I saw this huge tree. I'm like, oh, I'm not touching that tree. But I got this, I was just like, oh, that is so intimidating. Do I have to touch that tree? I heard, no, you don't have to touch that tree. And I'm like, okay, so this is a breaking point right now. I could either go back, or I can keep going, because I feel like I want to see what's all over the horizon. I want to see, I've never been this far before. I want to keep going. did something within me that was like, that I want to keep going, and I apply one thing to all things. So if I keep going, when I keep going towards a place I don't even know of, how far would I go out? You know what I'm saying? In the real world, when I'm faced with anything else. So I start saying, I've never seen what's over that hill before. I want to see what's over there. So I kept going. I kept going and I kept going. And I've been guided to other trees that looked weird that I was afraid to touch, but then I got over my fear and kept going. Like each and every point that I went to a tree or went to some kind of point in the forest, I was getting over fear after fear after fear after fear. And it felt so amazing. It felt so empowering, right? So I went over and I touched a tree, gave it Reiki, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, which way to go? And I saw it this way. I was like, okay, I'm going this way. There was many places and many like dips and ways to get to where I was going. All of a sudden, I felt and saw a whole barrier, right? There was this whole light barrier. Like I literally felt like I crossed into a point in the forest where there was a light barrier. Like it was so much, it was like magical. I went inside a point of the forest where I tapped into some kind of magic, some kind of portal, some kind of barrier. And I was just like, whoa. And I felt like I wasn't able to get there if I didn't communicate with the trees. I felt like there would be something that was trying to deter me from this magical point in the forest. If I wasn't so kind-hearted, if I didn't have good intention, if I didn't communicate with the trees, then or whatever like that, I feel like I would have been deterred and went home a long time ago. But because I started communicating with the trees and I was giving the forest love and guiding myself and doing my best and to communicate and keep on communicating with my angels and my source. And this is another thing I did. I pretended this is what I did. I said, angels, you got me, right? They're like, yeah, I got you. So I took my hand and I placed one out right here and I placed one out right here. And I held them. I held on. And I imagined my angels taking each of my hands and helping me and guiding me and pushing me. And sure enough, I felt like I was being pushed. I felt like I was being guided. I felt like I was being protected, like two angels beside me. I use that as a mechanism to keep me focused and on protection and keep me focused on, I got my angels beside me because they literally were beside me. And I felt like that, like with my hands. So I kept going, right? And I kept going. And crossed this barrier of lightness. Like literally I looked around and it looked so much lighter. And it looked like it was like some kind of clear or white force field around this new place I was in. And I'm walking and I see this tree, right, in front of me. But behind the tree, I see something move. And I'm like, what is that? But oh my gosh, guys, could I forget? I'm like, what am I? How can I forget this moment? As I'm walking through the forest, before I get to all these other trees, I'm asking the Most High, where are you guiding me to? Where are you leading me to? And I saw the word deer spelled out in my mind. Deer, D-E-E-R. Deer. And I'm like, oh my God, am I going to see a deer? Yes! It was like, yeah, that's confirmation. Am I going to see a deer? Yeah. Oh, we're leading you to a deer. Like, this is what you wanted from before, remember? I was like, yeah, I remember I wanted to see a deer before up close. I was in the car, and I was just like, I saw a deer the other day. Oh, snap. I saw a deer the other day, and I had a random thought, like, I want to see a deer up close. And this is what I was being guided to today. Because I let that go and whatever like that. But literally, okay, don't listen to whatever that is over there. But I literally was being guided to a deer. So I saw this it looked like a little white thing and a little white and brown thing. And it just went away like really quick. And I was just like, what was that? And I stood there for a second. And I was just like, okay. So I felt the need to push forward. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, like I touched this tree, the next tree in front of me, and all of a sudden I'm walking forward. I walked past the tree and I see 3 deers. 3 deers, 2 little ones, and I feel like it was a mama one. And as soon as I saw them jetting, like literally prancing, they're prancing, like out to wherever they was going, moving away from me because they heard me coming, I started jetting. I started running the opposite way. I said, oh my God, I saw them. I was like, because in the back of my mind, I'm like, if they're close, a buck is not too far away. So I'm gonna use my intuition and get the heck on out of here. And before I try to run after these deers and try to touch them, no, I'm gonna go the opposite direction before the buck with the horns come out. You know what I'm saying? I'm going. But at least I got a chance to see the deers. And the deers were being protected by this whole magical force field. I feel like I stepped into the magical part of the forest. That's exactly how I felt. I felt like I stepped into some kind of magical part of the forest. And I feel like that's where they be residing at. Like, will you be trying to find them everywhere? Some of them come out, to, walk everywhere and go find food and everything like that. But some of them be deep into the forest. And you got to explore that shit. And you got to connect with the forest to even find them. So I'm just like, yo, yeah. So I'm jetting back to where I know where to go. But you know what? As I'm walking towards that part, I didn't know how I was going to get back. Like, literally, I'm looking back. As I look back, and I'm like, oh, my God, I'm so deep into the forest. Like, I pray I know where to go. I pretty much know where to go, but I pray I don't, fall over something or anything of that nature. So, literally, as I'm jetting, I feel like I'm like maneuvering my way through the forest. Like, I don't slip, I don't fall, I don't get caught on no branches, nothing. And I feel so happy. I'm literally in a space of bliss just by seeing deers and being in that whole light aura. I'm just like, oh my God, I saw it. And I'm thanking God for that little moment. Thank you, forest. Thank you, forest. Thank you, God. Thank you, higher self. Thank you. I'm sitting here saying thank you, thank you, thank you. As I'm jetting through the forest, and it's like, yo, like, I'm like moving quick. I'm moving so quick, running through this forest too. I don't know what came over me. It was a spirit of joy that came over me, and I felt so invincible. I felt so powerful. I don't know what. It was like, oh my God, like I got close to theirs. Man, it was so freaking magical. And I got out that forest, knowing how to navigate myself, listening to my higher self. My higher self told me to go certain places. When I tried to go somewhere else, I was quickly, reverted back to where I needed to be by listening to my higher self, by looking into my vision, using my third eye, hearing the voice of my higher self, communicating with trees. It was so flipping magical, y'all. And I just wanted to tell this story to you guys. It's so beautiful, connecting with the earth, the elements, the trees, and with the creatures of the forest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that is a way. You know what I'm saying? I've been in the ocean before, and I communicated with the tree plants in the ocean and saw something magical in the ocean. Like, life is magical. There's so much magic in the universe. I thought I saw a mermaid in the ocean. Like, literally, life is so magical. So I want to say, like, yo, deers are sacred creatures. That's why I feel like I was so very happy to see a deer. Deers are very sacred creatures. And to get as close as I did to one, I felt really, really accomplished. Okay? Really, really flipping accomplished. So that was my story of how the forest led me to some deers. I was listening to where the forest was guiding me, looking at where to go, communicating with trees. The trees hugged me back, gave me beautiful energy. As I hugged the tree gave me back beautiful energy. It was like so motherly, so very motherly. Like, just connecting to earth is so very beautiful, y'all. So, and I did this all in rain, like all in the drizzle. It was drizzling, and I didn't give a crap. It was like I was being cleansed anyway. So, communicate with the forest, get in tune with some trees today, and maybe you'll be guided to something magical. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I have. This is just my story, my little short story. I pray this, entertain somebody or they learn something from this. You know what I'm saying? And go and meditate in the forest. Is there anything else I need to say? No. If you're interested in this piece, I'm gonna call her Magic or something. If you're interested in this piece, let me know. Holler at me. She's for sale. And yeah, she has little sparkles in her leaves. That represents the magic within like the forest to me. And this could even mean like, yo, and this is a tree mama. So I pray that everybody loves this story and shares this video. And I'll catch you guys next time. Is there anything else I need to say? Nope. Connect with your higher self today. Peace, love, and light to you guys. Ashe.